Yeah, what's going on, yo? I know, posted a video for quite some time. Um, but a few people said they enjoyed listening to me about my insights about the world and everything, man. One of the things that I wanted to touch on was basically how we as people do not listen to each other, regardless if it's men or woman, it doesn't matter. Women complain about how men do not listen to their emotions, to understand their emotions, and basically you're not allowing them to express themselves. You know what I mean? Because right then and there, it's for a lot of women's experience, it's like it's a control thing. You know what I mean? And it's one thing that I learned is that for the conversations that I had, including the women that I've known for years, um, is that you have to allow them to express themselves. Women are very emotional creatures. You can't. There's nothing to beat around the bush from that shit. You have to allow them to express themselves. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't agree with what they have to say, then acknowledge what they say and how they express themselves and explain why you disagree with them. You know what I mean? Um, Excuse me. As far as a man goes, ladies, a lot of men, just like y'all, when it comes to the point of not listening and understanding, is that a lot of guys um, know, and from their experience, including from mine, is that because a lot of some of you women feel that, how should I say this, yo? Because you're so emotional, and it's not all of you, is that you do not listen to what men have to say. I'm not talking about boys or weak men. Like, no, I'm not saying that. But you do not listen. In other words, you're so emotional that it blocks your thinking. It blocks you from thinking with a clear head. It blocks you from listening to what anybody have to say. And when that happens, that's when you're like, you know what, the hell with this shit. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of relationships end up going downhill. Same thing with marriages. Um, you know what I mean? So, in other words, and this, I tell people this shit all the time, man. Master the art of learning when to shut the fuck up. And that goes for both men and women. So I don't even want to, hear no shit. Oh, he said this, about women, or said this about men. No, I'm talking about both y'all motherfuckers, man. Because nobody in this fucking world is perfect. All of us are born with fucking faults, men or women. You know what I mean? Your ego can destroy your fucking relationships, both ladies and fucking men. I've seen that shit. I personally experienced that shit, and I had to learn when to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because what you don't understand is that when you allow people to speak, what you don't understand is that they often tell on themselves. You know what I mean? So when you allow people to speak, you know, you get a better understanding of where they're coming from. In other words, you're putting yourself into their shoes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like it's it takes practice. It really does take practice, man. You know, and that is a real fucking killer for a conversation. I could care less if you're a man or woman or how many degrees you got, or what's your fucking degree in college. You know what I mean? Your fucking degrees don't mean shit on my education on life at all. You know what I mean? So even though if you disagree with it, I'm gonna listen, of course. But if I don't agree with it, I'm gonna tell you why I don't, agree with that shit. And then if it's one thing I also learned is that when people talk and you constantly ask questions, even especially when you genuinely want to know why they feel the way they feel or why they disagree with it, a lot of times they get pissed off. Get pissed then. Don't give a fuck. Cause I'm telling you right now, when it comes to communication, if I, you know what I mean, if you're in school, yeah, and your professor says something, that you don't agree with, you're not going to get pissed off or mad. You're going to raise your hand and you're going to explain to the professor why you don't agree with what he or she said. You're not just gonna go off, or you're gonna walk away, or you're gonna be arrogant as fuck, or my favorite, let your fucking ego get into play, and you become disrespectful as shit. It does not work that way. That is not how communication works. That is not part of the laws of the universe. And a lot of y'all need to get on that fucking board, because a lot of y'all claim that that y'all know the laws of the fucking universe when you still come out of your fucking mouth like a goddamn child still in high school. And yet here you are in your fucking 20s and 30s and up. And when people get like that, yo, where they, come disrespectful as shit, you know what I mean? I'm a Leo. So I may entertain it and I'll put you in your place and laugh at your ass, or I'm gonna just let you run your fucking mouth and bid you, good night. Because I'm telling you right now, and it's not even being cocky or confident or nothing like that, yo, is that what I say is basically what you're going to experience in life. Because I'm, one of the few people, like many other people out there, that genuinely give a fuck about people. You know what I mean? And I want to help people because I don't want to see people take the wrong path. And then later on in life, they wonder why, they're alone, they're by themselves. Like, it's not a good fucking feeling. You know what I mean? As you get fucking older and, you got, your own house or car, regardless if you're man or woman or whatever, and you got no one to share your experience with. We're not meant on this earth to be alone. You know what I mean? And if it's one of your real friends, what they're gonna tell you is like, yo, you talk too much. So sometimes you gotta learn when to shut the fuck up. Honestly, yo. You know what I mean? And listen attentively. And a lot of times when people, claim that they listen, they completely disregard what the hell you're saying. No, that's not how fucking communication works. If I disagree with you, yeah, and basically I'm gonna point, I'm gonna point out and specify what you said, and I'm gonna, disagree. What is it that you said? And I'm gonna go into detail why I don't agree with it. That's how fucking communication works. You just say, "Oh, that's bullshit," you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, and you wonder why your ass is single, or you wonder why you can't stay in a fucking relationship because you're flat out disrespectful as shit. Nobody wants to fucking deal with that, man. You know what I mean? I could honestly say that I was one of those people that I was very fucking arrogant and shit. But if you sit me down, you know what I mean, especially when I get that energy, I feeling that you give a fuck, I'm not gonna say a goddamn thing. Because I know that's, especially when I know it's coming from a good place. You know what I mean? And so that's what I often tell people, like, yo, when you get to that, that point, when you get very arrogant, you get very disrespectful and become very fucking egotistical. Good luck to you in life. Because life is going to teach you a nice, decent fucking lesson. I don't give a damn what you say. Life is going to teach you a nice fucking lesson. And when it happens, don't go crying on fucking social media. Don't be talking shit to your friends to try to get someone to co-sign into your bullshit. Nah, take this L. And that's not even coming from me. That's just life in general. The universe is always going to show your ass. And it's going to come with cactus shoes on by putting a brand new asshole in you. Y'all keep it up. Some of y'all just don't know when to shut the fuck up. And that's your biggest fucking problem. That's negative fucking energy. Nobody wants to be around that shit. And the only people that you got that's probably around that shit are other pretty much egotistical fucking people. Got tongue tied. You know what I mean? So you really have to listen attentively. I could care less what the fuck you feel. You have, of course, what you feel is obviously valid. It's fucking real. But if you really want to understand where people come from, yo, and to have a genuine conversation or get people to try to understand your point of view, you have to learn how to shut the fuck up. Listen. Because if you don't, nobody wants to be around you. I'm telling you. That's why you got so many of these older people that's, is growing old by themselves. And it's fucking sad to see. It really fucking is. You know what I mean? I could care less, what your zodiac sign is, how much money you got. None of that means a goddamn thing. Because you just don't know when to shut the fuck up. So like I said, man, when you are in a conversation with somebody, especially when it's a conversation that makes you uncomfortable, or a situation that makes you uncomfortable, what you have to do is don't say anything. You know what I mean? Take what it is that individual or individuals is saying. Excuse me. And if it doesn't make sense, explain to them why it doesn't make sense to you. You know what I mean? You don't just flat out just become disrespectful just because you feel like it. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is, for those of you that are arrogant as well, or come off very arrogant, and when people tell you that you're coming off very arrogant, you're disrespectful, and you're like, oh, whatever, I'm not coming off disrespectful. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to just leave you be and let life teach you a fucking lesson. Because it doesn't matter how good you look, how much weight you lift. None of that matters. Because nobody does that pretty much genuinely gives a fuck wants to be around you. Because you don't know how to keep quiet. Well, anyways, y'all, that's my 2 cents or whatever, man. But y'all take it easy, man. I'm out of here.